Hello everyone, welcome to the Learn Python for Automation 30 days series. So as part of these sessions, we are planning to have a 30 days Python learning sessions wherein we will be taking the sessions from basic Python concepts to the advanced level. So if anyone wants to learn the Python for the development purpose, automation purpose or for the DevOps, so you can get started with these sessions. So today we are going to learn about the basic introduction about the Python and the Python configuration in your local system. So let's get started with the session. So we know Python is a high level programming language which is easy to learn, and it's been nowadays widely used for the development and testing, and more we can see in the AI, like where when we are designing the AI or ML softwares and also in the DevOps. So why Python got its popularity? So for that, we can say the Python is a simple and it will be having a readable syntax. Because of that, it's very easy for beginners to get started with the Python coding language. And also it is compatible with multiple operating systems like Windows, Linux and Mac based system. And Python is having a huge community when we get stuck with any kind of an issue, so we can get the community support as well. And also there are multiple libraries which supports the Python based solutions, and it can be used in multiple domains. As I already discussed, we can see it in the web development and AI or ML designing and test automation, and also the automation process deployment process we had made automation, so we can see in the automation also, and data science and in the DevOps, like wherein when we can use these Python based tools for the infrastructure configurations as well. So why Python for automation is required? So because of its simple syntax and huge library support and strong community support as well. So with this, get started with our Python configuration in our local system. So to configure the Python in our local system, we require two prerequisites. So we want the Python VS Code installer. We have to install the VS Code in our system, and we should have the Python uh, configured in our system. So first we'll see how exactly we can install the VS Code in our system. So for that we can go to the VS Code official website and we can download the based on your operating system, you can download the a specific VS Code version. So this is the official website to download the VS Code. So if I wanted to when we are using the Windows based operating system, you can click on this. It will start installing the Python in our local system. And if our operating system is other than the VS Code, like Linux or Mac based system, so we can try to download specific to our operating system. And so once the installation is done, we can double click on this .exe file. So here we can see the license agreement. So once you go through it, you can click on I accept the agreement and go to next. So as part of the next, when we are going, so we have to create, if we wanted to create a VS Code desktop icon, so we have to click on this checkbox and then we can try to go next. So here, if you click on the install, the VS Code starts installing in our system. So wherein once it is configured, we can launch the VS Code in our system. So here now I'm skipping this step and I wanted to start the VS Code. We can, once the installation is completed, we can start the VS Code tool from our system. So now I have the VS Code in my system. To get started with that, I'm going to create a folder first. So Python practice. So here I'll just try to open the VS Code from my search window. I can open the new window. So here, whatever the project that I had selected, I'll try to select that folder from the downloads. Here I can go and I can select this Python practice folder. So now VS Code configuration is ready in our system. So we can get started with the Python configuration. So for that, we have to go to the Python official website, python.org. So here, if we wanted to download the Python for our Windows-based system, we can directly go ahead and install the standalone installer by clicking on this link. And if we are looking for any other previous versions or Mac based operating system, so we can click on this below links. Like example, I'll just show you for the Mac. So we can go to the new window which has been configured. So here we can see the new window which has been launched for the Mac OS. So we can see the latest version as Python 1, 3.1.4, 3.14, and we can see all the previous stable versions of the Python which has been launched. So the application or the project which we are working, if it is not compatible with the latest version, so then whenever we want the previous stable versions of the Python, we can go ahead and we can try to install it. So once the Python has been downloaded into our system, so we'll be getting a file installer, Python installer. Double click on that. So we'll be getting an install option. Right now it is already installed in my system. So because of that, I'm getting the modify option. So if you are already having, if you wanted to upgrade, you can just go ahead with the modify. If you wanted to install from the beginning, so you can click on the modify. So with this, we can do the different check boxes we need to check based on our requirement and then click on next. Here you try to click on this add Python to environment variables because it will by default set up the environment variables. Means we need to set in the environment variables, we have to set the path where exactly the Python has been configured to access the Python from any of your projects. So rather than we do manually, so by clicking on this checkbox, it will by default configured in our system. So once this step is done, click on the install. So with this, Python will be installed in our system. So once the installation is completed, we can go ahead and we can check in the command line tools uh, with the command Python version to verify the Python is installed and configured in our system. So for here, I'm using the VS Code editor. So here I'll go to the new and the terminal. So this is a partial terminal which we'll be using for our script execution purpose. So to check the version, I can use the command python hyphen hyphen version. So with this, see here I can see the Python version which has been already configured in my system. So if it is, if you're getting any error, if you are done with the installation, if you're not able to find the Python version, so at that time make sure your environment variables has been set properly. So for that we can go to the edit system environment and environment variables. So here you can check the path has been updated in your environment variables or not. So if the path has been updated, so you can find the Python version, you can access the Python from any of your project. If not set, try to set the path of the Python so that you should able to access the Python and you can try to run your Python codes. Okay, so once we done with the VS Code and Python configuration, before you get started, it's recommended to have some of the extensions into our VS Code. So here I had listed 4 different extensions like Python, Pylance, Formatter, and the Flake. So here Python is the foundation tool which we are going to add into our VS Code, which will be supporting our Python coding, and will be having a Pylance, so which helps us in the auto completion and type checking. So black formatter and flake 8, it is if you wanted to utilize it, you can add it. So these two helps in like black formatter help in auto formats of the code and making the code consistency, and flake 8 is one which can identify the unused imports and if any syntax in the errors to rectify from that. So how to configure this extension in your system? So you can go to the extension. Here you can try to search from the VS Code itself. So I just wanted to have the Python, so you can just go ahead and search here the Python. So once you find this, you try to install it. It is already installed. So here I can see the uninstall option. So right now I'm trying to uninstall just to show you how exactly we can install. So now I got the option to install. So if you are doing it first time, you will get the option of install. So you try to install this Python extension into your VS Code. In the same way, uh, you can configure the pylons and other extension tools also based on your requirement. Okay. So with this, our basic configuration has been done. So we can get started with the coding. So to get started, first we have to create a folder. So I can just go ahead and create a new folder here. So now I'm going to create a demo folder. So we have to use the .py extension when we are writing the Python program. So here demo.py I had used. So to print any statement, we'll be using the print keyword. Okay. So here, if I wanted to add any integers, I can write the numbers directly. If I wanted to say any value, like example, if my value which I wanted to print in the console as an outcome is high, let's assume I wanted to print hi, so good day. So as part of this statement to print in the console, so I have to save this statement print, and after that I have to run this program which we had been created. To run and verify it's working as expected or not, we can check in the partial terminal which we opened. So here, if you wanted to run it directly, you can do right click, and here you can find open in integrated terminal. So you can just go ahead with that as well. So it will open the specific folder terminal. So now we are ready to run our program. So to run the Python code, we have to use the keyword Python and then the file name that we had used. So I can use demo.py and hit enter. So with this, I can print the statement as it is in the console. Okay, I'll stop it here and we'll continue.